It's two dudes with attitudes, a wrestling podcast with Ryan enjoys wrestling and MWO. And this is our WWE edition for the week of August 15th, where we're going to cover all things SmackDown, Raw, NXT, and we're going to do our LVD, MVD. Ryan, are you ready to get this party started?
I am, man. It's been a crazy week of wrestling, especially in the WWE. They rolled out the new ESPN platform a lot earlier than anticipated. They're no longer on Peacock, except they are, but they're not. But NXT's staying, but Saturday Night Main Event's going there. So there's a lot of chaos going on in the world of WWE, and we're here to break it all down like D-Generation X.
Dude, let's break it down. Hit that music.
Two dudes with attitudes, let's go. Two dudes and our attitudes ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. A 5-star broadcast shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E. The two dudes with the attitudes that bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.
Yeah, man, it's wild because basically you don't need ESPN Plus. They're going to show everything on ESPN. But people are still complaining, oh, I don't have to pay 30. Then they still complain. But now people are complaining even more because if you do want to watch everything, you have to keep Peacock. Now you can't get rid of it because Saturday Night's Main Event for the next, 3 years or something. And all NXT. So it's like, and here's the thing. I don't understand. People were complaining and I'm like, bro, have you watched the NFL? If you want to watch any game on the NFL now, you need 6 different networks. NBA is going to be like on every streaming, every channel, this is the way of the future. Why are you I'm sorry that AEW isn't to that level yet to where they can push it like that. So you can say well, they're not doing it. Well, yeah, but they're still charging you $60 a month. And don't say they don't have them every month because they do have them every month. They're paying $60 a month to watch pay-per-views. So yeah. Oh yeah. It's wild. People just complain to complain. But with that said, I think it's going to be dope to see some stuff on ESPN. How cool is that?
Yeah, I think so too. I think I will say, I think the rollout of the app has been really poorly communicated. That's been my one frustration because the new ESPN app came out today. There's really been, if you have the cable provider, you can log in, but if you don't have access to certain things on your cable provider, I don't get the SEC network on my cable provider, so I don't get it on the new ESPN app, even though I was told I would have access to everything, and I have the ESPN Unlimited. So it's been a very, very poorly communicated rollout, and we all thought this was supposed to happen in January, and here they are doing it a month ahead of time for their WrestlePalooza coming up in September. So I think they should have communicated it a little bit better, but other than that, it's an exciting time for WWE and it's an exciting time for wrestling fans.
So is ESPN Plus not a thing anymore then? Is it just ESPN Unlimited now, or is ESPN Plus still a thing? I don't know.
I don't really, and that's the other thing. I don't really understand that either. I think ESPN Plus is still a thing if you want it, and that's for the games that, if you went to, I don't know, Cal State Fullerton, and you're watching them play against, the Banana Slugs, then you're not going to get that on ESPN. So you might get that on ESPN Plus, which gives you all the local games. That's how I understand it, but I'm not 100% sure.
Who knows? Either way, I have everything, and I know that's me trying to sound bougie, and it ain't because I'm rich. It's just because I watch everything, so I want everything. So instead of putting my money here, I put it into streaming, and I still pay less than I ever did on cable. I think people forget back in the days, cable was $200. DirecTV, I used to pay $250. I pay way less than now. So it's not to me, it's all the same difference. But to each its own. All right, you ready? Ready to get into it?
Oh, yeah, let's do it, man.
All right, let's break down some SmackDown, and let's start with the opening promo, which was the MFTs and also some Sami Zayn They went back and forth, and Sami Zayn basically said he no longer wants to wrestle for the World Heavyweight Championship. He's done with that dream at the moment. He has another dream that he wants to go after, and that's one Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa did his typical laughing, jabba, jabba, juka, juka, and he tells him that you ain't on SmackDown, fool. Surprise, surprise. Solo's on SmackDown. What did you think about this? And do you think now Solo isn't going for the World Heavyweight Championship anymore? Or is he just going to win the Rumble later? So why do we have to talk about it now?
Yeah, I think it's a out of sight, out of mind type thing. I think he wants us to forget. We got to remember the brand split is a thing of the past. You've got people from, Chelsea Green's on SmackDown, but she was also on NXT. And you have people from all kinds of shows just showing up at random places, random. We had a Jimmy Uso appearance on Monday Night Raw, and he's a SmackDown guy. So I think the brand split is a thing of the past. I do think he was, but as we learned on Raw last week, I think it was, or the week before, LA Knight is now a full-fledged member of the Raw roster. So I guess he was traded for Sami Zayn, and that's why he's on Raw now, competing for the World Heavyweight title. But I don't think we've seen the last of Sami Zayn in the world title picture. I think it's more an out of sight, out of mind thing. Let him be on SmackDown for a while. Let us forget about him in the world title picture, and then he wins the Rumble, like I think he will, and then he goes back up to the world title next year.
Yeah, I agree with all that. I'm so over this brand split shit. It's so stupid. It doesn't make any sense. I'm so if we do another draft, I'm going to be mind boggled. Like if we're going to do it. Either commit or don't commit. That's stop with that. I don't know who's on who. Everyone's just on everything. It's like, let's stop with the brand. It's so dumb. So even NXT now, if people are on NXT's over on the. It's all just, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't. But I did like the promo. I like what they're doing with Sami Zayn. I know a lot of people don't like it because he's Sammy Hogan and he's pinned Solo Sikoa twice in 2 weeks. But this is how you build people up. And I think SmackDown is where he should be. The only thing I don't like is that the continuity error that a couple months ago Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins told him to go to SmackDown because he'll never compete for the World Heavyweight title on Raw, and he said, "No, I'm going to fight for the World Heavyweight title because I'm future champion." And now here he is a couple months later. He's like, "Hey, I decided to come to SmackDown after all." But other than that, I think it's a good place for him, and I'm excited to see what they do with him.
Yeah, it's because they had him wrestling solo, and they're like, that doesn't make sense. He needs to be on SmackDown. All right, so some other stuff that was pretty good. We had Carmelo Hayes getting a tag match with The Miz. Basically, Carmelo gets the finish. Miz tags him in unexpectedly, steals the pin. They're a tag team, but they're kind of bumping heads right now. But Carmelo's on TV. What do you think? Is this going to shut the haters up or no?
I hope it does. I hope it shuts the haters up because Carmelo Hayes is money. And I think we've forgotten how good Carmelo is because of how he's been booked in the WWE and how he's been used since he's been on SmackDown. He's been nothing more than, fodder to other big time wrestlers like Cody Rhodes and several others. He's been more, for lack of a better term, he's been a jobber. But now we're starting to see who Carmelo Hayes is. And I think The Miz is the perfect guy for him. I think The Miz is perfect guy for, he can be that good baby face, but he can also play the great heel. And I think when he does turn heel for the umpteenth time, he's going to do it fantastically. And it's going to push Carmelo Hayes to the moon. And this is going to be what launches the rocket of Carmelo Hayes' career. At least that's what I hope. Because if there's anybody that, if SmackDown needs anything, it needs a jolt and it needs somebody to get behind. This week's episode especially, we need, there was no Cody on SmackDown. There was no John Cena. We didn't have Logan Paul. We didn't have a number of the big-time stars that we normally see on SmackDown. And I think we need a younger talent to kind of build around. And they have it in Carmelo. And I think The Miz is the guy that can bring it out of him. So I'm really hoping that this is the direction that this goes.
I still enjoyed the episode, though. I thought it was a really, really good episode.
I thought it was a good episode.
I did, yeah. My thing is that I told people a while ago with Carmelo to chill out. I said they aren't going to put him out there until they're ready to have an idea. And now they have an idea and they're ready to put him out there. You need to wait and have time. And people are just so impatient with whoever they want to be pushed needs to be pushed. Like every wrestler can't be the world champion.
Yeah.
But with that said, I really, really, really enjoyed Carmelo and Miz as a tag team. I thought they were fun. I thought they had great chemistry. They were comedic but badass. And I'm kind of bummed that we're only doing this just to have them break up. But in the long run, what more could Carmelo Hayes fans want other than him turning or being turned on? I think he's going to be the good guy either way, and beating a future Hall of Famer and former two-time world champion. You can't ask for anything more. And that's going to skyrocket Carmelo and hopefully move him to bigger and better things. So I'm excited for the future for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And again, SmackDown needs it. And I think Carmelo can be him. And we've seen how good Obafemi is. We know how good Trick Williams has been. I think Carmelo, we see how great Bron Breakker is. I think we've kind of forgotten about how good Carmelo Hayes is. And I really hope that this brings it out for sure.
Yeah, for Sheezy. All right, let's get into what I thought was the highlight of the night, and that was one Drew McIntyre. He came out and basically told the crowd and the world that I didn't strike first, Han didn't shoot first, right? And he basically,
right.
I got hit by Cody, so I laid Cody out. Why am I the bad guy? Once again, we missed this Drew, right? This was Drew when he first became a heel, in air quotes, you know what I mean? Because he was always being portrayed as a bad guy, even though he was always in the right. This is him once again. He's building up to this title match. Cody didn't have to be there. Drew can carry this himself. But what did you think about the promo? And, you know, what are you excited about this heavyweight title match at Clash?
I wasn't going into the show. I wasn't excited about this match going in. And then we talked about it ad nauseum last week in our episode. But I think I'm more excited about it now coming out of this promo than I was just last week. And I think it's just the work that Drew McIntyre is doing. I think, you know, he can be the best heel when he's given the right material. And I think he, like you said, he's in the right, even though he's being portrayed as a heel. And I think that makes him that sympathetic heel, and people tend to gravitate towards that. So I really dug this promo, and you know, Drew McIntyre, he can carry this feud himself, and we don't really need Cody Rhodes. But it also goes to show you that Cody is yet again the secondary character when he should be the main character. And that's the one problem with his last title run, and I have a feeling that's going to be the problem with this title run. I think people are going to be wanting Drew to win, and I don't think he's going to. So that's the only thing I'm worried about. But I'm more excited about this match than I was going into last week. So Drew McIntyre did his job for sure.
Oh, for sure. And I love that he's allowed to point out the obvious. Like, he hit me first, so I fought back. Like, why am I a bad guy just because I Claymored his ass through a table or announce table? Here's the thing with Drew, right, is that Drew has to win. I know that sounds stupid, but he has to win. And here's the thing. Cody Rhodes is the new John Cena, right? He's the face. He's that guy, the poster boy. Cena never had a year-long title reign. Cena never had. Cena, Stone Cold, The Rock, these guys had short title reigns. They would win, be the face, lose to somebody. Randy Orton has 13 title defenses because of all that John Cena losses and beating John Cena and beating Edge. And Edge came in and took him from John. There was always an Edge, a Randy, someone else battling the face. Austin had The Rock, Mankind, Undertaker, so on and so on. It's okay that Cody loses this belt, and he has to lose. You need to build up contenders. If you have every champion undisputed, have it for a year, have it for 2 years like Roman did, you're not doing yourself any good. I think Cody losing it, letting Drew have it for 2 months, beating him back, Drew can win it back. I think we need to go back to those days because that's what made WWE fun and what made people bigger stars than they were. Mankind would have never been as huge as he was if he didn't have those flip-floppies with The Rock winning the titles. That made him. That made The Rock. You know who else? Triple H was another one who would come in and get 3-month title reigns. Shawn Michaels, I think his longest reign ever is like 7 months. This is how it's always been, and I think it needs to go back to that, and Drew has to win. If Drew loses, he's just a guy who talks, and that is it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried that, and the other thing that WWE really needs to look at is after Drew, if not Drew, then who? Who else is on SmackDown that they can build up? I mean, are we waiting for the inevitable Randy Orton heel turn? And that's going to get us through the winter, the fall and the winter, going into War Games and, Crown Jewel. Is that what we're waiting on? Are we waiting on Sami Zayn to finally turn? And he goes, instead of going after the World Heavyweight title, he goes after the Undisputed title. But other than if not Drew McIntyre, then who's it going to be? We've seen him against Cena. We've seen him against several Logan Paul a bunch of times. We don't really need to see that again. So who? And I think that's where WWE is really in a pickle right now. So I agree. They need to put the belt on Drew because he's the only guy that they really built up successfully. And they can use this time to build up other people to go after Drew.
I agree. All right, let's end it briefly with Sami Zayn. He pinned Solo Sikoa again. You alluded to it. He did it in the main event. Question for you. Sami Zayn has pinned him now back-to-back. Does that mean Sami Zayn is not? Can we continue with the underdog, or we still have another SmackDown to Solo strike tomorrow night so Sami can get that win? What say you? It was a little weird to see him pin him again. It was a little weird. I mean, you can't just keep having Sami be the underdog always. He has to kind of get the comeuppance sooner or later.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I agree. I think it is a little like he does need a character change. He needs a big time character change, and him switching from the red brand to the blue brand isn't really changing his character. He's still the underdog, and he's still being portrayed as the underdog. And the announcers aren't doing them any favors when they act like it's this big ordeal that he pinned Sami Zayn pinned Solo in a non-title bout twice, and they're acting like it's like that. You know, he's just won the Undisputed Championship off of Umaga or somebody like that. And I think that, but I think he's in need of a character change. And the underdog thing's not going to work if this is how it's going to be on SmackDown. I really hope Solo gets his comeuppance. And I think I don't think Sami Zayn should win the U.S. title. I think if you're going to push this underdog thing, have him lose the big moments. You know, yeah, he can pin him twice in back-to-back weeks on SmackDown, but when the opportunity's on the line, when the title's on the line, and under the lights on the biggest show at WrestlePalooza or Crown Jewel or Survivor Series or whatever the show is, Clash in Paris, he can't get it done. When the belt is on the line, he actually he falls apart. And maybe that's the angle that they can go with. That he can't win the big one. He can win them when they don't matter, but can you win them when they matter? And I think then people might get behind it. But playing this angle that he's the underdog and then having him go out and pin people back-to-back weeks, that's not working. So they got to change it up a little bit.
Yeah. I agree. I do think he's going to win the U.S. title. I think he's going to have a good run with the secondary before he loses it and then wins at Rumble, our Elimination Chamber. But that's neither here nor there. We shall find out. All right, Monday Night Raw time. You ready? Because I know you like it raw, baby. All right, let's open up with the opener, and that is the promo. They always have a nice little promo to begin with. This time it was the Vision. I mean, we had some great stuff, especially with Paul Heyman dogging him, saying you were just chanting Paul E, thank you. And then they switched that chant up real quick. They were like, we ain't cheering for you, homie. But I loved it. I like what we're cooking here with all of them. What say you? What did you like this promo? Are you getting tired of it? This is the same old, or is it just getting better and better and better?
I actually think it's getting better and better and better. And the reason why I think it's getting better and better and better is because Paul Heyman is not just talking about Seth Rollins anymore. When the Vision first started, it was the Seth Rollins show featuring Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. And they were coming out to Seth's music. And now they still came out to his music this week, so I understand that. But, you know, it was the Seth Rollins show. People were doing the Seth Rollins. They were singing his song, and he was doing his visionary promo. But now, you know, now that Paul Heyman is using this time to get Bron Breakker over, calling him the big dog of the yard, you know, using all of the old Roman Reigns puns. He's using this time to go, you know, put over Bronson Reed as the Tribe Thief, the Shula Fala, all that good stuff. And then, you know, Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker are getting to show their personality a little bit more. And I think that's all meshing well with the Vision. So I do think it's getting better and better and better. Then you have Seth Rollins, who continuously does his thing on the microphone and looks like $1 million, and he's not doing that stupid laugh thing anymore. He's a lot more serious, a lot more dialed in, and I think this stuff is getting better and better and better each week.
I fully agree with you, and I think all of them are improving. Seth is back to his wardrobe again.
He's the wardrobe.
I don't know why he went back to that. He was kind of back to normal clothes again, but Braun looks like a beast. Bron Breakker. I like his shirt. everything. Paul Heyman is building these guys beautifully, and every time he touches a mic, you know it's going to be amazing. And now Bronson Reed with the whole Roman thing is getting huge, getting over. I feel like every week, that's what you got to do. You can't just have them not be on the – they're the biggest faction, just like Judgment Day. They're on the TV nonstop. You got to continue to put them out there, continue to build them, to push them, have them win. The Vision is a great name. I love everything about it, and I thought this opening was fire and set up perfectly for the main event, which Jey Uso and Bron Breakker were challenged into a no-holds-bar ECW type of match in which we knew something was going to happen, and something did. They were chanting his name 25 minutes before he came out. Roman Reigns returns, lays out Bron, helps Jey Uso get the win, and then verbally challenges Bronson Reed to a match at Clash. It is on like Donkey Kong. This is going to be huge. Like, who's going to win, who's not, just everything about this. I know everybody was like, it was so predictable. It's always a Vision, DQs, and Roman was coming back. What does it matter? I don't care how predictable it is. It still was fire, amazing, and I'm pumped up for Clash, mainly even because of this match. I'm ready for Roman and Bronson. I think it's going to be solid.
Yeah, I think this match is going to be the match of the night. I really do. I think it's I think maybe this match should main event the show. That's how big of a match I think it is. I think it should main event over Cody and Drew. I think it should main event over Seth and Punk and Jay and LA Knight. I think they should really consider having it close the show. And that would really show just how great the Vision is and how great Roman Reigns is for sure. I like this. And the people that have been complaining the last couple of weeks, people are just going to complain for the sake of complaining because it's the same thing every week. The Vision comes out and cuts a promo, and then the Vision comes out and they stand tall at the end of the show. Well, this week they didn't stand tall at the end of the show. Roman Reigns stood tall, and Roman Reigns is verbally assaulting Bronson Reed from the stage. He doesn't even challenge him to a match on the microphone. He challenged him off the microphone, pretty much an off-script challenge, which I thought was way better and really cool done. I'm digging all of this, and I think, like I said, I think this match, Bronson Reed and Roman Reigns, should 100% main event Clash in Paris.
Don't forget, too, that Bron Breakker lost that match. He didn't even win. So, once again, Jey Uso got the win over him, too. Yeah. So, they weren't winning at the end of the show in any means.
Yeah.
Somebody who did win, though. Go ahead. Yeah.
I was just going to say that I think Jey Uso needs to stop doing the spear. I think he's got to retire that spear. It looks great when Bron Breakker does it. It looks great when Roman Reigns does it. It looks great when Bill Goldberg does it, but not Jey Uso. Jey Uso, I don't know. He tried to spear Bron Breakker in that match, and it didn't look. It looked like I was trying to spear Bron Breakker.
Here's the thing: you got to be big to do the spear, right? Like Jey Uso doing it, like ECW or AEW guys do them too, and they're like little, and it just doesn't. Like Edge had a good spear, but it never really I never thought his was like the best. Sorry. It just always looked it just looks light. Like, how much effort are you putting in? He did a good one. It just never looked, like Roman hits you with it. You're like, oh, damn. If Bron Breakker hits you with it, you're like, woo, it looks good. So, yeah. But also now I feel like there's only 7 finishing moves anymore. They all share the same finishers now. Everybody. Well, something that the fans should have been happy, especially us male fans, was one Nikki Bella bobbing her way up into the ring. She attacked Becky Lynch, got the comeuppance after that embarrassment of a promo that happened a couple weeks or a week ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago after Becky Lynch finished off Natalya. I got to say, I don't know if you watched AAA or Triple Mania. It was fantastic, but Natalya came out as like Natty or something. But it was dope, man. She was like a killer. And then she came right back out with like, "Hey, it's me, Natalya." Yeah, I was like, "Girl, go back to Natty, homie. Go back to Natty." But nonetheless, I don't like. She's 2 different people. She needs to go back to that because her character is done. But Nikki Bella, man, she looked good. I'm loving this flipping Becky Lynch IC title. I don't think people understand how important. I think this title is being made because of Becky Lynch. She is doing possibly. I'm not going to say 100%, but possibly the best work she's done, at least in a while, with her character now. And she's facing young stars, old stars, people in the middle. I mean, she's doing everything you need to do. And her and Nikki Bella is going to be fire. I'm super pumped about this. I really, really am.
I like what they're doing with this as well. I think it's really putting the Women's Intercontinental Championship on the map. And I like that. I like that she's changing it up. I like that she's going after. She went after Lyra for a while. Now Lyra can't compete for it anymore. So now She went after Natty last week, or Natalya rather, and then she's going after Nikki Bella, which I love. I think this is great. I think for whatever reason, I don't know why Triple H can't be consistent with the booking, because he's booking the women's IC champion fantastic, but then you go to the women's US title on SmackDown, and half the time I can't even remember who the women's US champion is. I know it's Julia, but
it is Julia.
Yeah, but and she's fantastic. She's fantastic too. So whatever you're doing with Becky Lynch, why aren't you doing the same thing with the women's US title? But Becky Lynch is killing it. I didn't think I was gonna like her heel gimmick. I was like, I don't really like that. People aren't gonna boo Becky Lynch. She's one of those wrestlers that nobody's ever gonna boo. And
she figured it out.
She finally figured it out, and it's been fantastic, and it's working beautifully.
I agree. All right, well, let's continue on with women. Let's end it with I think the swerve of the century, or one of them. I was worked right beforehand. They even kind of worked you on the show, although as soon as they showed her on Stephanie, talking and saying, we have a huge announcement, I was like, well, why would you show that right before she came out? That blew it. I was like, well, obviously she's pregnant, but holy cow, Naomi is pregnant. She relinquishes the title. She almost fights, not Nick Aldis, what's his name?
Adam Pearce, yeah.
Adam Pearce. She almost whooped his ass, and she cut her best promo. There is no better joy in this world, and as a father, I know as a father, than bringing life into this world. But at the same time, props to both of them, Jimmy, Naomi, Netflix and chill all day. Continue to do it. You guys are going to have beautiful babies. I'm so happy. But holy cow, talk about the best thing happening in your life, happening at probably the worst career point of your life, huh? She is I'll talk about it later, but this is definitely going to hurt this damn women's division. But props to Naomi, and way to talk. And that promo, that was the best ever pregnancy promo. I got to say that.
Oh, yeah. I loved it. And the thing that I liked about it is she didn't really give Triple H a choice other than to put her back in the title picture when she comes back. She was like, look, this is my title. I'm going to be gone for 9 months. If I have a baby that I'm breastfeeding, I don't care. I'm going to come out here. I'm going to whoop all. He was like, you heifers are going to keep my title warm. She kept referencing that this is her belt. And even the fact that she didn't want to relinquish it to Nick Aldis. And she was like, I ain't giving you shit. It was just, all of it was good stuff. And I think what she did was solidify herself as a world title contender for when she comes back, which is not easy to do, because a lot of times you're out of sight, out of mind. People forget about you. And it's, well, what have you done to earn it? Well, she never lost the title, and now she's going to come back, and she's going to be right back where she left off. So I loved it. I thought the announcement, I didn't really like the way that they announced it. It was on a podcast, and I love Jimmy Uso, and I'm super, super pumped for him as well. But some of the lines in this promo kind of bothered me. And number one was I didn't like they never referenced Jimmy Uso or Naomi as an on-screen couple in WWE before.
No, ever. Yeah.
Ever. And now all of a sudden they're like, oh my gosh, they're an on-screen couple. And then they never reference her as part of the bloodline, and she brings up the bloodline, and people start chanting
good
OTC
line, though.
For some reason. It was a great line.
I don't know why they changed it for Roman.
It's I don't know. It's those Philadelphia people. But it was just those were the only, they're minor gripes, but they're gripes nonetheless. But I thought it was a great promo from Naomi, and definitely the best promo that she's cut. And I think the women's division is going to be hurting without her.
Yeah, kayfabe is definitely dead, bro. It's not even, it's we don't care anymore. We'll tell everybody. And they even had Jimmy responding in the back and everything. I don't care about anything, but that line where she was like, I guess Big Jim likes to Netflix and chill.
No, I love it.
It was on Netflix. Fantastic. And then she followed it up with the bloodline continues or whatever. I don't know. I thought they were fantastic lines. Good shit from her. And it just shows how phenomenal she is. They better not mess it up. Bring her back. Give her the title instantly. Do not turn her babyface. She'll get the pop right off the bat, and then let her swerve it on the crowd and attack them after she wins it. Tell them to stop cheering for me, and she needs to go back to who she was. We don't need to like have her come back as a hokey dokey, you know. She better not come back with lights and no, keep her how she is. Give her back that damn title.
And I will say this: I think she came out with a custom title, a custom with like the yellow caution tape.
Yeah, they swerved us. That's what I mean.
Yeah, it looked fantastic. It was a cool looking. I hope they keep that. They should keep it as like that way. Like, you know, it is really Naomi's title that Rhea Ripley's about to win, or that Stephanie Becerra is about to win, or that you know whoever's Io Sky is about to win. It really is Naomi's championship. So I think they should keep the custom title. And whether or not they will is not, you know, I don't know, but I think they should.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's get into NXT and let's continue on with the women because the women are doing it. But we had Jordynne Grace and Blake Monroe have a face-to-face promo. What say you? Let's hear it. I'm sure we have some opinions on this promo, this back and forth with security. Security guard running was pretty funny, though.
It was. But
he like took off.
This promo, I don't.
Tell us. It's all right.
I want to be excited about this feud. I really do. And I think Blake Monroe, I think Blake Monroe is still trying to be, she's trying to find her way as Blake Monroe. I think she's being a little watered down. And Jordynne Grace, when she's cutting a promo, like a lot of times you can tell when they're trying to remember lines versus when they're trying to actually cut a promo. And I feel like with Jordynne Grace, she's, you know, they gave her a script of everything that she needs to say. And I feel like she just goes out there and recites it. I don't feel the passion. I don't feel the energy. I don't feel the enthusiasm. I don't feel excited after she cuts her promo. And then with Blake Monroe, I feel like she's trying to bring out the Mariah May that we all know that she can be from AEW, but she's also trying to be Blake Monroe, and she's still just trying to find her footing. So this promo just didn't land for me. And then the stuff with the security guards was funny, sure, but she outlasted 5 of them. Like I don't know, it was just very, very strange. But I'm going to give this a couple more weeks. I know the heat wave is on Sunday, but I don't think this feud's going to end anytime soon. So I really hope that they can do something to get some life back into this feud.
You know, it's wild because I don't know if it's Blake Monroe or it's just Jordynne Grace. Like Jordynne Grace was such a beast in TNA, and she came over and she's had a good run, and now it looks like they're trying to promo her, which, sorry, that's WWE. You got to figure it out. If you don't know how to promo Ricochet, you're not going to get the matches you want, right?
Yeah. And
her promos are so bad. She talks like this. I was going up, and I don't know if, like you said, is she's trying to read, obviously. Is she trying to memorize? But also, I don't think it's something she wants to talk about. I don't think she has a problem truly with the way she looks and how she used to look. I think she's comfortable with it. She looks perfect. And in her eyes, she probably knows she looks perfect. So I don't know what I think they're trying to push, that whole like you're boyish type of thing and not pretty, but Blake Monroe is so pretty. I don't know if she means it. It just feels really, really off. And this promo had me like, ugh. And I think Blake Monroe now, this has been her first thing. So she's trying to feed off her, and acting is reacting. And when you can't react because the person's delivering it so bad, you're only going to react the same way. So I think it's just been a hot mess. She ain't going against Toni Storm, who no matter how she cut a promo, she cut it. So it was easy for Mariah May to come back at her. I honestly think it's all Jordynne Grace, and I'm not dogging her. I think she has a future. I think I wanted her to be world champion already, but since they've had her talk, it's been pretty damn bad. I can cut a better promo right now in the middle of the ring than she is.
Yeah.
And I ain't never done it.
And I think that's the issue is, you can tell, like when the WWE scripts you can completely tell. And it feels like that's exactly what they're doing with Jordynne Grace, that somebody backstage is giving her a sheet of paper with a paragraph written of, and she's just out there pretty much not just trying to remember it. And instead of getting the bullet points and kind of making it her own. And I think that's what's missing with her character. And then Blake Monroe, I think she's trying to prove to everyone that she's a different character than Mariah May, but at the same time, we all know how great Mariah May is, and I think she is being a little. I think she's also, like you were saying, she's being held back by Jordynne Grace, but I also think the WWE writers aren't doing her any favors. It's like this whole story is kind of done. It's over pretty much it's over body shaming. You know, oh, you used to be fat. Well, I'm not fat anymore. Like I'm jacked now. So I'm gonna beat your ass at Heatwave. Like that should be the promo. And instead, it's like, I can't believe you're body shaming. And it's just this whole story is just dumb.
It really, really is. And you can tell the WWE doesn't trust her. Like Freddie Prinze Jr. said, he was a writer, and he said, I only had to write people dialogue who needed the right dialogue for. Everybody else, the John Cena's, the Rocks, all these people had bullet points, and you either bullet points or you don't. That means they don't trust her. So we'll see how it turns out. I mean, this might be the end of it. We'll see come this weekend. Main event. Were you surprised? Not surprised, but Javon Evans pins Trick Williams to become the number 1 contender for Obafemi in the main event at Heatwave. Were you shocked, or did you think we were going to get title, or did you think we were going to find a way to get a 3-way like they always do?
I was legit shocked because the last couple of weeks they've been teasing Obafemi and Trick Williams. They've been having stare downs backstage, and they've been bumping into each other on the way to the ring. And they've been cutting promos against each other and one-on-one, and now we get Javon Evans. And, you know, that's I have no problem with Javon getting the win. I think it's great. I think it's, they obviously, speaking of trust, they obviously trust him to get a pinfall victory over the TNA World Champion, which, you know, not a lot of people can say right now because Trick Williams is on another level. But I don't know, like, you do this on the go-home show of Heatwave, and there's no build to Obafemi and Javon Evans. There's no really reason to care about Obafemi and Javon Evans when why have you been teasing us with Obafemi and Trick Williams over the last couple of weeks just to give us this match? So but I thought it was a great match for sure.
It was a really good match, but I'm not sold on Javon yet. I think his promos are pretty garbage. I don't think he cuts good promos. His in-ring ability is fantastic, but he ain't gonna win. So I don't know. I guess we just needed Oba to continue to beat someone, but how many times is Javon going to lose for the title as well? I don't know.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I thought it was fine. The match was good, but the result was a surprise to me because I thought Heatwave, why not just have title versus title or something? Or just for Oba's title and have Trick get cheated out to lose or something. But yeah, to build on the TNA championship.
Mike Santana cost him or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, or Joe Hendry, who comes out of refrigerators now. I don't know. All right. Well, there you go. That was our WWE weekend review. Thank you all, and we appreciate you all for tuning in. Now we're going to get into our weekly fun segment. We do it every single week, and that is our LVD and MVD for this week of August 15th only, where we're going to give our least valuable and most valuable dude. Doesn't mean we hate or love them. It just means they were the best or worst booked for the week in our opinions. Ryan, as always, you get to start. Who is your least valuable dude or dudette?
We just talked about him, but I'm going Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe. I think that promo was just, I don't care about this feud. It didn't do anything to sell me on this match. The promo was not very strong. It was not good. This whole story is dumb. Like we said before, it's all over body shaming. Like, oh, you used to be fat and I'm beautiful now and you're not. And, you know, why don't you go eat more? It's just like all this stuff is just so dumb that they're fighting over. That I don't believe it. I don't feel the passion. I don't really have a reason to care about this feud. And I thought that this week was an opportunity for them to silence some of the doubters out there. And I don't think either one of them brought their A game. Now, I still love Jordan Grace. I still love Blake Monroe. And I think Jordan Grace is a beast. I think Blake Monroe still has a bright future, and she's definitely a future NXT Women's Champion. But this feud just isn't doing it. So they either need to move on from it quickly or do something to breathe some life into it. But right now, it's not it for me.
Yeah, well said. I agree, and I just stated that. I thought, this is pretty bad work from both of them. So well done. I agree. I have women as well for my least valuable dudettes, and my least valuable dudettes of the week is the entire Raw women's division. And you want to know why? Because what are you going to do now? Naomi was carrying this damn division on her back. She was about to beat Stephanie Vaquer at Clash in Paris. And then what? We have Rhea in a feud with every Japanese wrestler in the organization. None of them are ready for the title. Stephanie Vaquer is not ready for the title. So what are you going to put Stephanie versus Io? No. Becky Lynch is your Intercontinental Championship. Nikki Bella's going against her. Alexa and Charlotte Flair are both in the tag team title. You literally have no one. Whoever you give it to, the fans are going to go. If you give it to Stephanie McCare, she ain't ready. You give it to Rhea Hogan. You give it to somebody. This is a lost division now. Naomi gets pregnant, and it's the worst thing that ever happened to this division. Prove me wrong, Raw Women's Division. I'm not saying they're not super talented. I'm not saying they can't. I'm just saying right now in this moment, they have no one. And now they have to figure it the F out. And if they do a damn battle royal, I'm going to punch you in the face next time I see you, Ryan. No battle royals for title champions. I hate it.
No.
Let's say that. So that's my least valuable of the week.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's a solid pick. And, like we said earlier, it's the best news for Naomi and the best news anytime you bring new life into it, but it could not have happened at the worst possible time. And, the couple of solutions that they could do, and because we talked about earlier about how the brand split is dead, and if you want to really irritate Naomi, put Jade Cargill back in bring Jade Cargill over from SmackDown or Bianca, put them in the Raw Women's Tag Team or the World Title scene, and really piss off Naomi then, and let them win it. Let one of them win it at Clash in Paris, and let them run with it, and then Naomi can come back and beat one of them. And we finally get that feud, maybe the triple threat going into Mania next year or something. So there's an option. Bianca is an option. Raquel Rodriguez, I think, has been putting in some of the best work possible. So there's options. But you're right, man. This women's division is not cooking anymore with the absence of Naomi. It just shows how important she was.
Well, if you got to bring Bianca or Jade over, then it really shows that the Raw Women's Division is the least valuable. So, all right. Let's end on a positive. Most valuable dude or dudette? Are we gonna have the same one, or you got someone different? Let's hear it. Who you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go dude, and I'm gonna go Drew McIntyre only because of the promo that he cut on SmackDown, where again he's back to he was very reminiscent of what I said last week, where I want this feud to kind of be like Drew McIntyre CM Punk. And where he was a sympathetic heel, he was really in the right. That Punk screwed him multiple times. He used to be world champion. He was going bloodline hunting because the bloodline cost him many times. Everything he said was truthful. And in this promo on SmackDown, everything he said was 100% facts as well. And we didn't have Cody Rhodes. And the fact that Drew McIntyre took me from being completely out on Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes the week before to completely in all by himself just shows how important he is to the SmackDown men's division, because if not Drew, who else do they have? So I'm going to go Drew McIntyre as my week of August 15th MVD of the week.
All right. Well said. I like it. But for me to pick the most valuable, it has to be someone who cut the best promo of her career, someone who's bringing life into this world, and someone who is leaving, and that means the division is going to go into shambles, and that is one Naomi. I'll even throw Big Jim in there because he likes to Netflix and chill, and so do I, Big Jim. I do it on a weekly basis. I love it. I'm so happy for them. And Naomi, you are a damn star. Triple H, I know you listen, or you have your cronies listen. As soon as she gets back, title is on her, same gimmick. Let's go. The end.
Yeah. No, Naomi's a solid pick, and she is vital to that women's division, especially now. It was a great week for Naomi. Sad to see her go, but happy for the reason that she's leaving. And I'm glad that it was a pregnancy announcement and not like when they were talking about her being injured or she wasn't on Raw last week. I was worried before the rumors of pregnancy started. I was worried that she had some sort of severe injury that she suffered, or she was, I was really worried about that. She's going to have to relinquish the title, but it's a good reason for her to be missed, and she will certainly be missed. But yeah, I don't know what this women's division is going to do without her.
We'll find out shortly. They're going to have to figure it out. All right. That was our WWE Week in Review for August 15th. Thank you all for tuning in. As always, don't forget to subscribe, to like, to comment, to 5 stars, however you're listening or watching us. And as always, if you just want to check me out and listen to me ramble, you can catch me on all social media at my_wrestling_opinion. And with me, as always, is the man with the plan, Mr.
Ryan Enjoys Wrestling. Go follow me on all the social media platforms as well. Go listen to us go follow us on YouTube at 2 Dudes with Attitudes. Go follow us on TikTok at 2 Dudes with Attitudes. We're on X at 2 Dudes PC, and we're on Instagram at 2 Dudes with Attitudes Podcast. All of them need to be updated, but they will be updated this week. So be on the lookout there. And then if you listen to us on Apple and Spotify, we are in the top 10% of all listened to wrestling podcasts. So let's keep that momentum going. Let's get us climbing up the ranks even more. And you can do that by dropping 5-star ratings. You can go drop us a review. You can go tell everyone about your favorite two dudes on the internet. And we appreciate everyone's love and support.
Two Dudes Wolf Pack. We out.
Two dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the two dudes and our attitudes ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E, the two dudes with the attitudes that bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on time to